Okay, good morning. Welcome to Financial Accounting. I'm Dr. Tietz. This is Amir. Amir, that you can't see online, is actually your lifeline to the class. In addition to the people, so I'm right now talking to everyone that's physically in front of me. In addition to you all, right now we have about 40 students online. And you all in this room have the option to attend class live online as well. It is a two-way conversation because right now everyone that's online can hear me, see the screen, and then they're actually seeing what you're seeing on this big screen. There's a chat room, there's a small video, which the small video doesn't really show you anything. And you'll see as the semester goes on, no one will want to sit here. It's like the splash zone because you can see on the video. But anyways, so there, if you attend online, basically you see what you see in class here online. You can do it using your, I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll get to that in a moment. But what we're going to do today is, my objective today is to go through everything you need to know about the class. So the setup, and the technology and the expectations. We will be here the entire period, and then next week we will start with content. I will tell you, you have a quiz due this Saturday, and so it's an easy quiz, but you want to make sure you are all situated for that. So if you've logged into Learning Catalytics, that's great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. We're going to come back to it. I just put it up here on the screen. If you are online, so if you're online and not physically in the room, know that you can always ask Amir questions. There's a chat room, and he is here to answer all your questions. Amir, by the way, is a master's in accounting student. He was with me in the fall, and he is quite integral. So if you're online, any questions about anything related to the class, ask him. He will be happy to help you. So we are going to get started. Whoops. Okay, so during class, again, Amir is moderating the chat room, and he will help you with any questions you have. Email address, my email address is the best way to reach me. If you have questions about anything, send me an email. By the way, I noticed when I was in here this morning there were emails that came in last night, like late, and if you email me the night before a class, obviously we start class early. I will return your email Monday afternoon or Wednesday afternoon if you email me late Tuesday night. So if you've emailed me sometime late last night, I'll get back. I'll return your emails, but I typically don't return emails right before class because I've got too many other things going on. Okay, office hours. If you need help, today is a good day to come see me. I am in my office from 11 to 1:30 today. I stay in this room after our class because I have another class back to back. So I will be up there Mondays and Wednesdays. If you have questions about things, you can possibly see me before class, but make sure you come in early because and let me get set up when I come into class, get everything set up, and then we will always start class on time. I cannot remember in memory not starting class on time. So we will always start on time. And for those of you who are online and cannot see Amir, this is Amir. And he will be helping you all through the semester in various capacities, but he will be here in class every day with me. Okay, so today what we're doing is we're going to talk about the technology for the class. The technology for the class, you will absolutely be fine. We have none of this technology is new to me. I have been doing this for several years now, layering on more components each year, and as they upgrade things, things just get better and better. And then after we get through the technology components, we'll go through the grade components. This class is meant, the technology is meant to help you and give you options that you might not have otherwise. You will see once in a while, if you sign in Blackboard Collaborate, by the way, in this room, you will you have to mute it immediately. So that's what we're hearing there, and it happens all the time. Okay, so a lot of you got my email yesterday. If you want reminders for this class, if you want reminders about when things are due, that will come through a text messaging service. You can register to get text messages. You can also register to get emails. So if you want reminders about what's due, you can sign up here. Again, not only can you can do text messages, but you can also do emails to get emails, and that's how the reminders will come. The first 2 weeks I will probably send announcements out, but after that I will not send reminders through Blackboard. They come through this service, and it works pretty well. I don't have your I don't have your email. I don't have your cell phone number. It's just you sign up and then you get it, and if you prefer that, this is an option. So email or text message. This link is on Blackboard. If you go to the home page, I know a lot of you have already found it, so if you want to do that, it's there. Okay, now this class is a hybrid class, so meaning there's alternatives. If you're in sections 1 or 2, you have registered to be in the physical classroom here. And at 7:45, anyone can attend in the physical classroom, because very quickly, first of all, the class is not full, so there's always seats. So if you're online and you want to attend a face-to-face traditional class, you're welcome to always come at 7:45 in the morning. I would say over time, within a few weeks, given that the weather's cold and everything, I would say probably 2/3 of you will end up attending live online, because it works very well. It's a really nice option if you don't have another reason to be here in the morning. Okay. So I have 2 classes, 7:45 and 9:15. If you're not registered for Section 2, you cannot attend 9:15 in person for 2 weeks. The reason being is that class is full, every seat is taken, so we have to wait a couple of weeks for people to kind of settle in and start attending online, and then there'll be room. So right now, if you're in Sections 1 or 2, attend the section you're in. You can always, everyone can always attend online, and we'll get to that in a moment. If you're in Section 5 or 6, you will attend class using Blackboard Collaborate. If after attending this a couple weeks and you want to attend in person, you're welcome to do that. Generally we wait a couple weeks, give it a try. It does work very well. In addition, so we have live attendance. You are required to attend. You have to attend. You have to attend in person or live online. I don't care. I don't care which time you attend. You can do the 7:45 or the 9:15. The exception is physical seats in the 9:15 class are kind of limited the first couple of weeks. But after that, I don't care if you attend 7:45. I don't care if you attend 9:15. I don't care if you attend in person or online. It makes no difference to me. And we'll talk about how every day in class we have a quiz, but that should not strike fear in your heart. It will be very easy. Every day in class we have it. You can take it no matter where you are. You do not need to let me know you're attending a different class. They are the same. The 2 classes are exactly the same. Okay, and then for review only, every class we have is recorded. What I'm saying right now is recorded. You can access the recordings on Blackboard Collaborate very soon after class. Within 24 hours, usually, I have the class up on YouTube as well. So you have options for review. You cannot do just review. You have to come to class. So the recordings are a backup for if you do happen to miss or you need to review something. I should also tell you that all the PowerPoints for today I put on the home page of Blackboard, so there's a lot of information. So if you need to go back and grab the PowerPoints, they're there. Okay, so attendance is required. So all sections, it doesn't matter what section you're in, you have to attend either in physical classroom or live online. I don't care which, except if you're not, only if you're registered for Section 2 can you go to the physical classroom at 9:15 for a couple weeks. Okay, questions so far. So now we've got, you can attend either way. I haven't gone into details about how to do that. And we do have a lot of people, okay, 45 or so online attending. Any questions so far about attending? I'm going to show you, for the sake of everyone sitting in here physically, I know several of you are quote unquote attending while you're sitting here, so good. But the difference between the sections. So I just said you can do whatever you want. There is one key difference between the sections, and this is time to listen up because this is a decision, an irrevocable decision you need to make this week. And that decision is where you want to take your exam. Okay? So if you're in sections 1 or 2, you will take your exam in the computer lab on the second floor of the College of Business during proctor hours. So you would take your exam down there. They're open roughly 9 to 9. Our exams are Monday, Tuesday, and you have to finish by 4 p.m. on Wednesday. So you have a 3-day range. You go there and you potentially wait in line to take your exam. So that is option 1. Option 2, if you're in sections 5 or 6, you take the exam using your own computer. If you have your own computer, you'll need a webcam. You will need, there's some requirements you can ask me about via email if you need the requirements. But you'll take your exams using your computer, using an online proctoring service called ProctorU. Basically, when you go to take your exam, you log in with them. It's like FaceTime with ProctorU. You can kind of think of it that way. And they will monitor you taking your exam just like a physical person monitors the lab. So it's the same exam, same process, it's just where you take it. ProctorU, you sign up for an appointment so you don't have to wait in line, and you have that 3-day window as well, but you can take it late at night. You're not bound by 9 to 9. But that decision needs to be made this week. After Friday of this week, you will not be able to change sections. Okay? So you need to know, you need to make sure that you're in the section. You can't change your mind later. You cannot go to exam 1 and say, well, I want to take it in the computer lab. What section you're in dictates how you take the exam. So if you want to talk to me outside of class, that's fine. I can give you more information if you're interested, but you need to make that decision this week, because after this week, you don't have that opportunity. You're stuck in the class you're in. Okay, if this applies to you, if you're in a particular section and you're right now panicking, thinking, I want to change to the other section, and you've already registered for MyAccountingLab, it's not a big deal, but you need to email me if you're going to change sections and you've already registered for MyAccountingLab. We can absolutely take care of it, but I need to know. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to take your exam because you're going to be stuck in the first section. So I need to do something to help you get into that section MyAccountingLab wise if you've already registered for MyAccountingLab. Okay, questions about that? Typically, I will tell you too, as questions come in the chat room, I let Amir answer them. I try really hard. I have a hard time talking and reading a chat room at the same time. So if you're online, Amir will let me know if he needs help answering, but otherwise I just let him take care of that. Okay, so questions in here about the exams. Okay, so so change your section by Friday this week if need be. Okay, and email me if you do so. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Blackboard briefly. Our course in Blackboard looks sort of like this. I change it occasionally, move things around a little bit. But basically, if you want to attend live online, so I'm talking to everyone that's physically in front of me online, you're already on there. If you attend class live online, there's 2 ways. You can attend using a computer, but you can also attend using a smartphone or tablet as well. So if you were going to attend using a computer, you would click on the Attend Class. Also, there's a Learning Materials folder. The Learning Materials folder contains all the PowerPoints for the class with the exception of today. Today I just put on here last night. So today's is sitting on the home page. For the rest of the semester, all the PowerPoints are in Learning Materials folder. And you'll see it tells you on the folder what it is. Okay, if you click on Learning Materials, you'll see the this is actually in the Learning Materials folder. You'll see the PowerPoint files, exam information. You'll see a video that I did. This class typically has like a 33% fail rate, and I can see what's happening on my standpoint. What you need to do is you need to keep up with the material. But that's a really short answer. What I've done is I've done 2 short videos, one 5 minutes and one 2 minutes, on how to pass this class. This class is not rocket science, but it requires a commitment, and there's certain things you need to do. So those are in Learning Materials if you'd like those. Okay, let's see. Okay, so back to attending class. Okay, Blackboard Collaborate. Again, if you're online, congratulations, you're where you need to be. If you're attending right now, if you haven't already done this, Collaborate is a really cool program that allows you to attend class live online. You can attend any section that you want. You can attend at 7:45, you can attend at 9:15 using Collaborate. I don't care which one you use. You can access Collaborate using a computer. It's compatible with Windows and Mac. Right now we have Windows and Macs going on Collaborate, so it doesn't matter which you use. You can use a mobile device as well. And we're going to start with the computer right now. I'm going to run through it briefly. Word of caution, do not use Internet Explorer. Okay? Internet Explorer, you shouldn't use it for a variety of reasons, not just this one. Internet Explorer is not going to work well. Use Firefox, Chrome, or Safari. Generally, I would recommend Firefox or Chrome, just depending on what operating system. You can switch back and forth between those. So when you're in Blackboard, let's say you have a laptop, you would click on Attending Class, and then Blackboard Collaborate. I can't remember if I have that link there. I think I do. And then once you click on Collaborate, you need to click on one of the class sessions. There are 2 sessions every day. They are 2 different virtual rooms. So there is a 7:45 and there is a 9:15. So just click on the session that you want to attend during that time. And then you'll have a button that says Join Room. And then the first time you do it, or the first time you use what particular computer, you need to download the Blackboard Collaborate launcher. What I'm showing you here has to be done on a computer. This is not how you get into it on an iPad or a phone. You can't do it. Blackboard's pretty limited on those devices for Collaborate. So download the launcher. You have to wait 10 or 15 seconds. Be a little patient, because I get really impatient and I feel like it should be done now, but it's not done. So wait for it, and then it'll ask you, this is the first time, download the launcher. And it works roughly the same on a Mac, so you're going to go through the same steps. And then once it's downloaded, you double click the Meeting Collab file that's down there. Okay, and then if for some reason you're in a location and you don't have speakers on your computer, let's say you're in a computer lab, or if your Wi-Fi connection's really spotty and you're having trouble, there's always a phone number and a PIN number there that you can use to call in to get the audio. And this applies to you online. If you're ever listening to me online, so if you're ever in class and I sound like Minnie Mouse because I'm going really fast, Blackboard has a technology that if your Wi-Fi connection is lagging, it will save everything I'm saying and then catch it up and spit it back at you really fast. So if it sounds like I've inhaled helium or Minnie Mouse, that's a signal to you that you've got issues with your Wi-Fi connection. And a really good option is to call in for the audio on the phone. If you do that, mute your audio. It does not tell you that. But once you call in on the phone, everybody can hear your background noise. But again, if that ever happens to you and you can't, you're having a lot of trouble with the audio, ask Amir and he will send you the phone number and the PIN number because he can do that. He's got everything there. Okay. So when you get in, it's going to look like this. Part of what I'm doing right now too, because I know all of you can physically see the screen and I just took a picture of a screen, is remember I'm recording this. There will be a certain number of people who missed today and then I'll be able to say, here's the recording from class. So I just want to record this is our screen. We have the video window where you will see a small snapshot of class. Once in a while, if we have lagging Wi-Fi in the class, we do disable that video and that will help. But there's nothing on that video that you need to see for class. It's just kind of saying, here's class, here's who's coming in. So yeah. So things like that. And then there's a chat room, and again, the first time you do this, when you're off-site, you have to run the audio wizard. So again, this is all the what you do when you use it on a computer. Okay, and Amir is the graduate assistant. Okay, rules for the chat room. So I have to go over this every semester. The basic overall rule is keep calm, be nice, everything will be fine. Be nice to each other. Keep the chat on topic. I know sometimes you see friends in the chat room, and before class you can chat or whatever, but during class, keep in mind when you're in the chat room, two things. Everyone in this class can see your chat, and secondly, everything's recorded as well. Use business appropriate language. Be nice to others. Remember that if you don't quite catch something, and typically I cannot go back, so if you don't quite catch everything, everything is recorded. And the PowerPoint for many of the slides we have in class are also available on Blackboard. So everything is recorded. We do ask when you log into Blackboard, either on a mobile device or in here, if you have an option of putting in a name, you need to use your first name and last name, your official first name and last name. And if we have people with names that are obviously made up or missing names, sometimes people put in the word accounting as their name. Amir will be asking you to log out and log back in with your name. Okay? So, and just keep it civil in the chat room and keep it on topic. Just like if you were in the physical room, you wouldn't be having a conversation out loud across the way with your friends because that would be distracting to everyone. Same thing on an online class. Also, in class, pretty informal. There is kind of one golden rule in class, and it's more, okay, in class, if you could not talk when I'm talking, that would be greatly appreciated. If you have to say something in class, I'll wait for you to finish talking. And the reason is when I'm talking and I hear people talking in class, and you'd be surprised how far that talking carries. Number one, it disrupts people around you. Number two, it sounds to me like a mosquito buzzing in my ear, and I get off track really fast. So if you're talking in class, I'll just stop and wait for you to stop talking. So please, please, please don't talk when I'm talking. So there we are. Okay, now attending using a mobile device. So you can go through the computer and that works well. If you're physically in the room here, you don't have to use Blackboard Collaborate during class. Collaborate allows you to attend outside of class. But you can also attend class using the Blackboard Collaborate app. And you would have to download the app. It's in the Apple Store, Google Play, Kindle Fire, all of those stores have the Collaborate app. You download the app, and then when you're in the app, it asks for a URL. And the URL, we use two different URLs, one class 00, It's a tiny.cc/class001 for the 745 and class002 for the 915 class. So you put that in the app, you put your name in the app. I believe you have to put your name in twice, and you can attend class. Now, something that I've observed over time. Here's a reason you might want to use the app if you're in class here. You might, if you're the kind of person that wants, sometimes people take pictures of the screen. If you're in the app, you can do screenshots. But then I will also tell you that most of the PowerPoints are on Blackboard and it's recorded. So that's up to you. Sometimes I find if you have too much technology in front of you, it becomes hard to keep up. So typically Blackboard Collaborate is what we're using if we're not physically here. But you can use a mobile app to attend. If you're in this room, Blackboard, the way that they wrote their app, Collaborate app, is it doesn't mute by default. You would think if you signed in to Collaborate and your phone was on mute that it would be muted. Not necessarily. So a couple of you who I've heard my voice echoing back, very normal. It happens a lot. You sign in and then you're like, oh, here it is, and trying to turn it down. Android devices will not mute. Blackboard Collaborate, this has been an open issue for 2 years now. Obviously they're not fixing it. So if you have an Android device and you want to have it in class, simply plug in a pair of earbuds or something and it'll be fine. If you use the app, the Collaborate app, you will hear my voice, you will have the chat room, you will see the screen, you will not have the video. That's it. Okay. Okay, if you're in the Collaborate app, this happens fairly frequently. If you get an error in the Collaborate app and it says Safari cannot open the page, blah, 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 not a problem. Retry, but when you retry, it'll pop up and say this form is not secure. Do you want to submit it? Instead of hitting submit, hit cancel, and then it'll work for whatever reason. Again, these PowerPoints are on Blackboard. You can download them. Collaborate, don't use Internet Explorer. And we do have in my email signature and on Blackboard, there is a phone number you can call for Blackboard Collaborate help. It's 24/7. So Blackboard Collaborate itself has a phone number you can call. Okay, if you want to view a recorded class, you can do it 2 ways. Right after class, within a few minutes, usually sometimes it takes as long as an hour, you can go into Collaborate, and instead of selecting our session, there's a little tab called Recordings, and you'll be able to select any day. If you want to view a recording, the 745 and the 915 are the same. Or there are recordings on YouTube. Now I want to tell you, with YouTube, these aren't automatically on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. Just to give you a little background, what I have to do after class is I have to click on a button. And now there's that big panic trying to turn off. So I have to click on a button and convert the Blackboard Collaborate recording to MP4. That is in a queue, and it's across the country. They have one server to do this. So I have to wait for it to convert. Once it's converted to MP4, then I can upload it to YouTube. Sometimes it takes at least, at a minimum, until 1 p.m., at least 1 p.m. On the class day. Generally it's late afternoon or evening. Once in a while it goes to the next day. But generally that's okay. I mean, so the YouTube recordings, there's a YouTube channel listed on Blackboard. You can click there and see all of our classes recorded. And if you want to have the recording sent to you every day, you can subscribe to it and you get the link or whatever. But those are there, and that's to allow you, because Blackboard Collaborate recordings you cannot view on a mobile device. But if you want to take a class with you to review, YouTube I think is a little more mobile, so that's why that's there. Okay. Okay. So questions about Collaborate, Blackboard Collaborate. Again, I don't care which you use to attend. It's okay with me. So there's that. Okay, now, if there is bad weather, we will still have class. So you're thinking, why? Because I know it's exciting to have a snow day, isn't it? Woo, snow day! But the reality with this class is this class content is dictated by the state of Ohio. There's something called Transfer Assurance Guidelines that says if you take financial accounting here, you can transfer that credit to any other state school in the state of Ohio. That's Transfer Assurance Guidelines. And so there is a set list of content that we have to cover for this class. And it's an ambitious schedule. This class moves along at a good pace. If we were to have a snow day and miss class completely, then I would have to cover the material twice as fast the next class day. Okay? And no one wants me to talk twice as fast. So here's what happens on a snow day. On a snow day, we will have class. We will have, probably we will have one class. We will not hold both of them. So we will have class. We will still have the regular class. We'll have Learning Catalytics. But here's the thing. You're not required. So this is the one time where you won't have a quiz that counts. We will still do the quiz so that you can use it to learn from and all of that, but we won't do it. So if we have a snow day or class is canceled, we will still have class if I have power and can do it. And so you can hop online. If we have a snow day, don't bother emailing me. I know it just like you. I'm watching them, and I will send out an announcement and text messages as soon as I know what's going on. So we will have class, but you can watch the recording later if you can't make it live. So we're not going to be penalized for not attending class, but you're going to be responsible for the recording later because we have all this technology. If we have a snow day, we will still have class. It will only be online. It will not be in this room. Amir will be at his house. I will be at my house, and we will have class, and you can join us with Blackboard Collaborate. And again, I will record it so you are not penalized if you can't make it, but the content of the course is such that a snow day is a killer in terms of workload. Okay, so any questions? We're done with Blackboard Collaborate as far as I'm concerned. Everyone okay? If you're online, ask Amir questions. He's happy. I see he's not typing, so you're slacking here. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the textbook, MyAccountingLab, and Learning Catalytics. Okay, there is textbook information on Blackboard. There are several different options I give you on Blackboard. You can buy things piece by piece, but you have to make sure you get all the pieces. There is an e-text package online that you can purchase through by a link on Blackboard. If you want, that includes everything you need for this class. It's an e-text, MyAccountingLab and Learning Catalytics. We do use the textbook. We go by it very carefully. This class is challenging. You do need to read the book. If you want to share books with someone, that's fine. The e-book works. You will not need the physical book here in class. So the e-book. Okay, so do you need to purchase a textbook? Yes, and I recommend the e-text package because they get everything. Otherwise, there are three components. We have the textbook. You need to read the chapter. We'll be doing homework from in the book in class, but you don't have to physically have the book with you. MyAccountingLab, we will use MyAccountingLab for homework, quizzes, and exams. Learning Catalytics, we will have in-class quizzes and activities. So every class day you are required to be here. And we will have quizzes every day, but that should not worry you. This is a way to get 100%, and we'll get to that. All three components, all these components are in the e-text package, and they're also in the package in the bookstore. Okay, the cost of items separately, you have to have MyAccountingLab, you have to have Learning Catalytics. Okay, and if you go on Blackboard, there'll be textbook and MyAccountingLab information posted there. You have to register for MyAccountingLab through Blackboard. You can't go to some site and register. Also, I don't have a slide for this, but if you have a MyMathLab or a MyMathLab Plus account, make a new Pearson account, okay? Because they're not the same. So just keep that in mind as you're going. Okay, now MyAccountingLab. MyAccountingLab is an awesome product. It is wonderful. We'll be using it for homework, quizzes, exams, meaning that all those things are going to look very similar. You will have homework problems from homework on your exam, which is really nice because you're not going to have this disconnect where you say, oh, what we do in class is nothing like the exam. It's all going to be that same pool of information and problems. So it's also MyAccountingLab is connected with Learning Catalytics. I know a lot of you are already on Learning Catalytics because we have a lot of people in Learning Catalytics right now. Okay, register for MyAccountingLab through Blackboard only. Use Chrome or Firefox. If you have a Mac, just a heads up, if you use Safari for MyAccountingLab and you get an error that says you do not have an active subscription, that has to do with the way Apple sets the security settings on Safari. Easiest way to take care of that, use Chrome or Firefox for MyAccountingLab if you have a Mac. It'll be fine. If you get an error, the rule, whenever you have an error with anything, restart your computer. That's the nice thing to start with. Okay, now tech support. If you have problems with Blackboard in general, help desk. Blackboard Collaborate, there is help and there is a phone number in Blackboard for Collaborate specifically. And then MyAccountingLab and Learning Catalytics help, there is a support link. If you're going to get help, if you need help from MyAccountingLab or Learning Catalytics, oftentimes emailing me first and I could direct you to the right place. And calling them or live chat with MyAccountingLab generally works better than sending an email. I've had really good luck with the chat room because you can do the chat, go do something else, and leave it sitting there waiting. One day I called and I did the chat simultaneously just to see which I'd get in faster, and the chat won hands down. So there's just a thought. But I will also tell you that over the next 2 weeks, if you email me, that's absolutely fine. I want you to email me if you have any trouble. Do not spend hours on something. I have like this 30-minute rule. If you've tried to fix something and you are stuck and you can't do anything, after 30 minutes, it is time to get help. It is time to email me, or if you know you want to go through the help desk or whatever, email me. But I will tell you, this first 2 weeks, my email volume is pretty crippling. I have 600 students, so I have a lot of email. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. But I need you to give me a little leeway this first 2 weeks in terms of my emails back to you this first 2 weeks are going to be pretty short. I'm not trying to be rude. What I'm trying to do is get the answers to you as fast as possible. So this first 2 weeks, I'm not likely to write back and say, hello, Cassandra. Glad to hear from you. Blah, blah, blah. Have a nice day. That's probably, basically, this first 2 weeks I'll be like, call Blackboard at this number. You know, so I'm not trying to be rude. It's just I'm trying to process a lot of emails, and I hate having emails sitting there waiting to be answered because I know your questions are important to you, so I want to get back to you. So just give me a little leeway in the first 2 weeks that you're not going to get warm, fuzzy emails from me back. After the email settles down, I'll be more chatty in email. But anyways, so 30-minute rule. Do not wrestle with something for more than 30 minutes before you reach out for help. I'm here to help you. That is my job, and I will direct you with what you need to do. Okay? Okay, so now 3 things, 3 grade components: homework, quizzes, and exams. The course schedule, in the syllabus, we have a huge syllabus. Our syllabus has a table of contents, but it's hyperlinked, so you could go from the table of contents anywhere in it. There is a schedule. That schedule is pretty much carved in stone unless something catastrophic would happen. I've been teaching 17 years here at Kent, And nothing catastrophic ever happens. So take that for what it's worth. Okay. In general, we have one homework due a week, not this week, and sometimes a quiz. This week we have a quiz due Saturday, okay? And they're due Saturday night at 11 p.m. The homework, and we'll get to all this, I'm getting ahead of myself. So there is, mark the due dates on your calendar. Okay. Homework is in MyAccountingLab. Basically, everything you have to do for this class is in MyAccountingLab or Learning Catalytics. Okay? Your grades will be in MyAccountingLab. Okay, so homework is on MyAccountingLab. It's due every week except this week. So, and it's not due exam weeks either, but generally due every Saturday you have homework due. You can do the homework. You don't have to wait till Saturday to do it. You can work on it till you earn the score you want. This is key. Homework, you should get a score of 100% on your homework every week. Absolutely. Homework is designed to help you boost your grade. You absolutely, if you plan on passing this course, you should get 100% or very close to it on the homework every week. You can do it as many times. There's lots of aids to help you get it, and we'll talk about that. We do not drop any homework scores, so you have to do it all. There are no makeups on this homework except, here's the thing, it's due Saturday night at 11. You actually have a little bit of leeway. It's actually 11:59, but I would say 11. So every day that you do it late, so if you forget it's due Saturday and you do it Sunday, you lose 10% per day late on what you did late. So if you did most of it and you have one problem you had to do late, very minor penalty. So you can do the homework late. You don't need to email me, but there is a 10% penalty per day late. Okay, this is MyAccountingLab generally. This MyAccounting assignment, that will not show an assignment until it's available. Generally, assignments are available. They become available Sunday that are due Saturday. So you're not going to see anything there. We'll talk about study plan. Study plan is an aid that you can use to help prepare for the exam. I don't want to talk about it any more than that today, other than to say it's absolutely not required and it doesn't impact your grade. I can't control that it shows up there. So I'm basically saying you don't need to worry a lot about there. Our current homework will show up there. The quiz will show up there that's due this week. That quiz will not show up there until after 11 o'clock today, I believe, is how I set it up. Is that how I set it up? Yes. See, Amir knows. Because I didn't want anyone taking the course intro quiz until we had class. So starting around 11 o'clock today, the course intro quiz will appear. And the course intro quiz is over everything we talked about today and the syllabus. Very easy, but that will show up there. There's also a calendar. Again, things don't show up on the calendar until I've released them. Okay, when you go to do homework, on the left side you will click on do homework, and then you will see the homework assignments show up. And you would click on a homework and they pop up. And this is the power of MyAccountingLab. Your homework problem pops up. We do most of the homework problems in class. If I don't do the homework and problems in class, I will email you short little YouTube videos that I've recorded that talk through how to do the homework. So you will typically not run into a homework problem that we haven't done in class. The homework problems, though, will have different numbers, and for everyone, they're algorithmically generated. So we'll do one version in class, then you go to do it on the homework. And when you go to do the homework, you put in the number. Down at the bottom, there's a check answer button. Okay, so that check answer, you click after you've entered one or two numbers. It's a chunk of information. So it might be one number, it might be two. You click. Now, within that check answer window there, you have 3 tries. So after 3 tries, so this one I got right. I put in the number, I got it right. Okay, the second one is I didn't get it right. So then it gives me 2 more tries. It might pop up a little hint. Maybe I could go look for it somewhere. And if you don't get it right within 3 tries, MyAccountingLab is going to put the right answer in. So what it does is it replaces your answer with the right answer. And there'll be a little red triangle in the corner of the cell. And that red triangle tells you your answer was replaced. This is the right answer. If you put your mouse over it, it will show what you entered. But the reason MyAccountingLab gives you the right answer after 3 tries is you don't want to be stuck in this endless loop of not being able to move forward because you can't get the right answer. That's really frustrating. So it puts in the answer for you. Now, you don't get credit if you get an answer wrong. You have 3 tries, but hold on. I told you you can get 100% on the homework. You absolutely can. So you go, you do your homework, and you show the correct answer, mouse over to see what you entered. Okay, now I'll get to what you do. So you can do the whole homework problem. When you're done with the homework problem, you have the option to do it over. So absolutely, positively, you can get 100% on all the homework. Now, let's say you do a homework problem and you don't know how to start. We did it in class. Believe me, I can make things look really easy in class. Then you go to do it a couple days later and you have no idea where you're starting from. Well, you can look at a recording, or you can click on this Help Me Solve This button, and the Help Me Solve This button will bring up an alternate problem, different numbers, but it'll coach you. It'll actually walk you through the steps, give you the formulas you need, and really give you the help to do the homework. You've also got demo docs, you've got textbook pages that will bring up the exact pages in the textbook and the e-text that relate to this. There can be videos, there's a rudimentary calculator, so you've got all those tools to help you with the homework. But then there's another button. So let's say you're working on the homework and you get totally stuck. You've gone through the Help Me Solve This and you get totally stuck. There's an Ask My Instructor button. If you need help with a homework problem, this is how you get it. You click on Ask My Instructor. Please do not send me an email separately and say, I was working on a second homework problem and I don't know how to get the assets or whatever. Well, I don't know what your numbers are. I can't see what you've got. But by using the Ask My Instructor button, you click on that, it brings up a little text box. You type to me, you tell me what you're doing, what you're having trouble with, and then it sends me what you typed to me, and it sends me a link to your homework problem. Remember, all of you have different numbers, so it'll give me a link to your homework problem so that I can see what you're doing on. This is going to get you the fastest answer. If you send me an email outside of this, if you just go in and say I have trouble with the second homework problem, I'm going to write back and tell you to use Ask My Instructor button. I need the Ask My Instructor button if you need help with homework. So again, use that 30-minute rule. Give it a try on your own, but if you're stuck, you need to ask for help. Okay. When you are done with the entire problem, so let's say you got some wrong in there, you can click Similar Exercise and do it over for credit as long as it's before the due date. So there should be, your grade in here is your homework, your quizzes, and your exams. Your homework and quizzes are designed to give you 100%. And the homework and quizzes together have a pretty high weight, and it's on the front of the syllabus. So you want to make sure that you get 100% on the homework, because absolutely positively. I will also tell you you're going to receive some emails from me if you don't get 100% on the homework. And by the way, when you get emails from me about your homework, I am using the email that you registered in MyAccountingLab. Let me tell you a story. So last semester, so I have 600 students, right? So if I see something wrong with the homework, I'm going to click, there's an email button for me to use, so I'm going to click on the email and email you, okay? So I emailed the student and said, hey, I noticed you didn't do this, can I help, blah, blah, blah. Didn't hear from the student. So the next week I sent another email, and eventually I gave up because I don't hear from the student. Then like 4 weeks later, the student emails me and says, I don't know how to do this. And I was saying, well, I emailed you. And the student said, well, where did you send the email? And I said, to the MyAccountingLab, whatever you registered your email as at address on MyAccountingLab. And they said, well, I don't use that email address. Well, don't register it with MyAccountingLab if you don't use the email address. That's the email address you're going to hear from me relating to grades on MyAccountingLab, if that's what's connected with your account. If you've already registered and you used a junk email account, I suggest you contact MyAccountingLab. I think you can change your email address pretty easily, and because that's when you'll hear from me about those types of things, if I'm trying to help you with homework or whatever. But if you don't get 100% on the homework, you're going to hear from me these first few weeks. Because, and I'm not meaning to nag, but I know after doing this for 17 years what you need to do to succeed in this class. Believe me, if you get 100% on the homework, that doesn't mean necessarily you're an A student. But if you don't get 100% on the homework, you are going to struggle to pass the exams. The homework is set up so you can get 100%. Okay. When you are in MyAccountingLab, if you click on Results, you will see your grades. At any point during the semester, you will know exactly where you stand. You click on Results. That is weighted according to the syllabus, according to how much you've done. It'll give you a list of all your results to date. When I did the screenshot, there were only 2. There were 2 homeworks it'll do. There's also a review button. You can review your homework to see what you got right or wrong. We're getting to Learning Catalytics in a minute, but Learning Catalytics, the daily quizzes, will show up in here too. And then if you click on Results, and then you click on Show Overall Score, that will show you your weighted average score to date in this class, and that is your grade to date given what you've done so far. Okay, back to quizzes. Okay, so on to quizzes. So quizzes, there's basically 3 types of quizzes. A MyAccountingLab quiz, maximum 2 attempts. The one that pops out to me is a course intro quiz. We might have another one at some future date, but not usually. So we have the course intro quiz. This is this week. Okay, you can do it after 11 o'clock today. It's over the syllabus and over what we're talking about in class. We have practice exams for every exam. This is so cool. You have a practice exam that's very, very, very similar to the real exam. You can take it up to 5 times. It's different each time you take it, but that counts as a quiz. Then we have daily quizzes. So daily quizzes are what we do in here using Learning Catalytics, which is coming up in a moment. But daily quizzes, they're in class, and it's not September 9th. Oops. So they're throughout each class day, beginning Monday next week. Okay? So starting Monday, you have to be ready with Learning Catalytics. Now, the average score is your score. What does that impact? That impacts the course intro quiz. You have 2 attempts. You only have to take it once. If you take the course intro quiz and get 100% the first time, you're done. I'm not averaging your 100% with a 0. It's the average of your attempts. So you only have to take things once. I take the average of your practice exam. So if you have practice exam 1, if you take it 5 times, I take the average of the 5 attempts. The daily quizzes, we're in class right here. You'll see it. We'll talk about it in a moment, and you'll see more on Monday when we do it. Believe me, daily quizzes, I routinely have students get 100%. It's just, that's what it's designed for. If you're paying attention, if you're engaged in class and paying attention, you will find these things super easy. Okay? The quizzes are all MyAccountingLab or Learning Catalytics. No quizzes are accepted late. There's no makeups. I don't have it. Oh, yes. Okay, there are no makeups. If you miss class for any reason, so you're feeling under the weather, you have a flat tire on the way to class, your Wi-Fi's out, any reason you miss, that's fine. I have a policy that I drop the 3 lowest quizzes at the end of the semester. So you have, in effect, 3 get-out-of-jail-free time. At the end of the semester, I will drop your 3 lowest quizzes, and they can be any of those. If you miss the course intro quiz this week, it can be one of your drops. You can drop your practice exams. You can drop any particular day. I just pick your 3 lowest quizzes during finals week and they get dropped. Okay. Okay, attendance is required. In here, it doesn't matter what section you're in, sections 1, 2, 5, or 6, it is required. Attendance, we don't take attendance per se, but we have quizzes every day, and that's how I know you're here. Your Learning Catalytics, I'll abbreviate it LC because it gets to be a mouthful, is what we are going to use for quizzes. Quizzes start Monday next week. Your Learning Catalytics score will be uploaded to MyAccountingLab within 24 hours of the conclusion of class. Check your scores. You will not be able to check your scores till Monday. I'm not uploading today. We're going to practice, but I'm not going to upload your scores today because not everyone's registered, but I'm going to show you how it works today. Okay, now Learning Catalytics, we will use it every day in class. So in class, by the way, when I say in class, I'm referring to physically in class or online. Doesn't matter to me where you are. Learning Catalytics works the same way in both places. We're going to do a demonstration now. If you've registered for MyAccountingLab, you can try it along, follow along. Note, Learning Catalytics is you can only use it during class. It's not live any other time. So what we're going to do is, if you've registered for MyAccountingLab, if you have not, don't do it now. You'll miss half of what we're doing. So if you've not registered for MyAccountingLab, just sit back and watch. If you already have, the best way is go to learningcatalytics.com, log in with your MyAccountingLab username and password. If you're using a laptop, you can go in through MyAccountingLab, but if you're using a phone, specifically an iPhone, it's not going to cooperate well sometimes going in through MyAccountingLab. So you can just go to learningcatalytics.com, log in with your MyAccountingLab username and password, and there's a session ID. That session ID will change every single class period. Okay? And I put it up before class starts. It'll be on the PowerPoint. It'll be my first slide. Usually I put it on the next couple slides. And then after that, you will have to ask Amir in the chat room for it if you're not here during those first couple minutes of class. The session ID is unique every day. Okay, so you need to come in. When I start it up, I don't even know what it is. I start it up and it gives me that code, and there we go. Okay, so every day then when you come into class, sign into Learning Catalytics. It'll be sitting on the session ID screen. That's the number you get from class. Today, the session ID 81118331. Okay, and Amir is happy to keep pasting it in the chat room. By the way, just something you should know about the chat room, if you see people coming into the chat room and you see Amir pasting the same thing over and over and you're wondering, why don't those people just scroll up and see what he said 5 minutes ago? It's because when you enter the chat room and collaborate, you cannot see, it doesn't have any history for you. It's all live from when you enter. So that's why people can't scroll back and see. It is freezing in here, is it not? Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is I am switching over to Learning Catalytics for a demo. So give me 1 minute here. Yeah, you can start. Okay, close. Cancel again. Click on Learning Catalytics. Okay, now go back and now. It has to be the active window right before. Okay, so this is Learning Catalytics, what you're seeing right now. So those of you who have it on your screen, you're good. So what I've done is we have a question up here. So those of you who have not signed up for MyAccountingLab, on any device that gets a web browser, you can log in. Typically, we have better luck with Chrome as a browser. Safari sometimes has a little trouble, but Chrome's a pretty good option on iPhones. I'm using it. I administer MyAccountingLab with an iPad, but you can use Android devices and all of that. You can use laptops. So this is the first question. So I pushed out this question. Right now we have 92 students in here, and you would need to answer. Now, this is interesting. We have 92 students in Learning Catalytics. Only 70 have responded. So right now what I need you to do is pick an answer, and you will actually have to press submit. Am I not right? Yeah, there's a submit on this one because you can press more than one answer. So you could be a double major. So when you're done picking your questions, then so I'm going to close this one. So basically I'll give you 5 or 10 seconds to answer it. This is one where there's no right answer. So I'm going to stop this one. And then what you're going to see is you will see, I will push out, on some questions, I'll push out the right, there's no right answer on this one, but you'll see the results, and you can see that on your device. So let's do another question. There's different question types we have. This is one that you just pick an answer. So right now, you've got it on your device, press your answer, submit it. We're going to close this in about 10 seconds. Okay. Again, this shouldn't be a hard one to answer. Okay, and what you're seeing here then, I'll push out, you can see in this class, the most popular class standing is sophomore. Okay, let's do another one. Now this one, you need to enter a number. Okay, so how many credit hours are you taking this semester? Type in an actual number. So type in a number and then click on submit response. Now, this is really important. When you click in your answer, you're going to put in your answer, and then you're going to submit it. You need to watch and make sure it's gotten your answer, and then it will give you a message. So do you want to put in a number so we can show? So Amir's going to answer the question and submit response. Okay, now it's going to, it tells us our answer. Our response was 12, and then it says your response has been hidden for privacy. Show response. You need to make sure that is on your device. A lot of times, not a lot of times, but occasionally students will put in their answer but won't watch for that. If your Wi-Fi connection goes out, or if you're having a little bit of difficulty depending where you are, it might not take your answer. You need to be sure that you see that where it's accepted your answer, and you can show your answer. Make sure it's there. That's your responsibility. If you see your answer there and it's saying your answer's been hidden for privacy, you are good. But you need to make sure that happens, okay? Because sometimes if you don't click in, if your Wi-Fi doesn't pick it up, then you won't get credit for it. Okay, so I'm going to stop this, and then we'll see here. So you'll see how many credit hours. The most popular answer is 15. Okay, and wow, we have some people taking 19. Wow, 18. That's a lot. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, here's another type. This one, press one answer, put in one word to describe your break. And remember, everyone's going to see your answer, not with your name. So describe your break. One word. Okay. Okay. Okay, they're still coming in. A couple more seconds. Okay, and then what we see is we see a variety of answers. So we can have questions like that where you put an answer in. Once in a while the questions, especially the first week, the questions may not have a right or wrong answer per se, but you still need to participate. So that's pretty cool, relaxing, short, busy. Yeah, I could go for all these. Netflix, yeah, fabulous. Aw, stressful. So we have a variety of answers there. And so that, let me do one more just for fun. So one word, keep it clean. One word describes how you're feeling about this class. This is a scary one for me to ask here. Are you following along here? I'm just going to see where we are. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We're good here. Okay. Okay, so let's see this here. Okay, so one word. Okay, nervous, stressed, groovy, exciting, overwhelmed. I understand overwhelmed, and I don't mean to overwhelm you. The technology will be out of, after the first week, all the technology will be fine, and we'll be on content. Hopeful, sleepy, early, eager, nice. Yes, neutral, over it, oh, ugh. So anyways, well, thank you for your feedback. Hopefully we'll get through this. I know the class, it's a lot this week. It's your week to register for MyAccountingLab, get that course intro quiz. But what we're going to do now, so that, any questions about learning Catalytics? Okay, so learning Catalytics starts for real on Monday. Today does not count. So on Monday, you need to make sure you've registered for MyAccountingLab, that you have learning Catalytics. And so now we're going back to the rest of the class. So you're going to stop sharing. Okay, so if you are in this class, if you're in section 1 or 2 and do not have some sort of mobile device, see me immediately following class today, okay? Otherwise, I'm assuming that you have a device of some type. Okay, learning Catalytics. Now learning Catalytics, we are going to have questions throughout class. Every day the class starts, I will put a question up at least 5 minutes before class starts. So you will have that time to answer it. It will be up for a couple minutes into class, and you will need to submit your answer. And then we will have questions all through class at different points. Your score every day will be based on 50% participation. So you get credit, 50% credit. If you came into class every day and just swept through the whole thing but could click and answer, you get 50%. Okay? Not an awesome score, but I guess you get some credit for sleeping. But to get full credit, it's very easy to do. You need to get it right. And that may, if we, for example, so if we have 10 questions and you answer all 10 but get 8 right, your score will be 90%. It's 50%, 100, you got them all right, you got them all answered, and then parts for wrong answers. Now, I will tell you that for every question in Learning Catalytics, either before we get to it, I will say, oh, circle this. Make sure you write this down because you're gonna need it in a couple minutes, or we'll talk about it when it's up there. You should be able to get 100% on every quiz question because we will cover it right then. This is not a quiz of anything from outside of class. This is a quiz. These are questions relating to what we're doing. I will talk about everything during that class, and you will have the opportunity to answer. So you will see what I mean on Monday. Okay? So we'll take care of that on Monday. We have 3 exams in this class. All 3 exams, all 3 exams are proctored. Sections 1 and 2, you take them in a computer lab. Sections 5 and 6, online using ProctorU. If you want to change your exam location, you need to make a decision this week. You need to switch before Friday. Okay, if you switch sections, email me. Okay, how to be successful in this course. Read the textbook. If you just come in here, everything's going to be overwhelming. If you read the textbook before class, it's going to help. Attend class and participate. Actively engage in the questions. Think about when you're answering. Take notes. Do the homework as many times as needed to learn the material. You need the 100% on the homework. You need the 100% on the learning catalytics. Ask questions. Okay, Monday through Friday, if you email me, I will respond within 24 hours, usually much quicker than that. If you email me again, if you email me late at night, the night before we have class, it'll be the next afternoon. Generally, I respond pretty fast. If you have a question on homework, use the Ask My Instructor button. Syllabus is on Blackboard. All your the course intro quiz is over what we've talked about today and on the syllabus. Tutoring will provide more information about it. If you are registered with SAS, see me privately, or I probably have your notification already from SAS. If you don't know what SAS is, it doesn't apply to you. Options for help. People are saying it restless here. All the PowerPoints for class are on Blackboard. I strongly encourage you to have them either in electronic format or paper format. I go really fast in class. If it's on the PowerPoints that I provided you, I assume you have it. I do not allow time to write down everything from scratch. So know that the class is recorded and the PowerPoints are available. Okay. Okay, so what you need to do, register for MyAccountingLab if you haven't already. There are 14-day free temporary access. Do that. You have a course intro quiz due this Saturday, and we have quiz in class during class Monday with Learning Catalytics. Questions for me? Yes? Where do you find the course intro quiz? In MyAccountingLab. Yeah. Okay. All assignments for this class are in MyAccountingLab or Learning Catalytics during class. Anyone else? Yes. Where do I find what? The recordings are in Blackboard Collaborate on Blackboard. You will find them under Attending Class. And then they go on YouTube within 24 hours. There's a YouTube link on Blackboard as well. Okay, yes. The only time you have to go to computer lab is if you're in sections 1 or 2 and taking an exam. Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Have an awesome rest of the day, and I'll see you Monday.